Hey, God Concept. I'm your host, Mr. Pagan. This is episode number 11. How's your day been? How's it going? I hope it's been subsequential. Yeah. I hope you had a very positive day. You know, still in mine as you're still in yours. Give your freedom up for the things that shine. Give my freedom up for the things that's mine. Give my soul up if you touch my mind. Everything that's free is made by design. My back's been killing me, right? Like around my shoulder blade area, because I've been doing a lot of working out and things like that. Not like, in the gym or anything. I do at home workouts, little aerobics here and there. Just to keep myself fit or whatever, because I was a heavy set guy. And I lost a lot of weight, you know what I mean? So I sit in the house. I do the Beat Saber thing, sometimes I post videos on Facebook and, different social media channels or whatever, monetizing, trying to, get that whole thing going, right? And man, that's why I say we gotta be careful and not overexert ourselves. Because man, sometimes when you're trying to do so much, and at times that can be overwhelming, not just for the physical, but for the mental as well. It's been really challenging to really try to focus on every aspect of myself, and really, not look outwardly to anybody else for the answers that I need for myself. A lot of us, we come up with the solutions before we go to someone outwardly and tell them anything about what we're going through. That's me. More than likely, I'm already thinking about it. I'm already on top of it. Some things that I can't figure out, I don't even bother trying to figure out. I stay away from that. Sometimes I ponder on it. If I feel I'm going down a rabbit hole too much, I just focus on something else. It's too much to focus on one issue or one problem. But I try to not look outwardly for any outward advice a lot of times. Because a lot of times we get false advice or wrong advice, or sometimes, the advice be solid. But we may have, tried it that way, but not quite in the way that they explained it, but in that way, a lateral, way, if I should say. But man, normally if you trust that your first mind, your first intuition, normally things go well. Normally things turn out good if you're thinking in the right way. If your train of thought is positive or not positive, as long as it's, not to the detriment of yourself, as long as you're thinking it's for the betterment of everybody. You know what I mean? If you're thinking selfishly, sometimes that could turn around and fuck you over. If you're thinking, about just the come up instead of everybody's game, and you just focus on what you can get out of a situation, sometimes it do not come to fruition. You know what I mean? A lot of us get too consumed in ourselves, and we get, selfish in that way. Your decision making, when it's personal, should be personal. When your decision making is with a group, collective, your decision making should be with the collective. You know what I mean? Make your decisions as a collective. Because otherwise you got two different narratives going on. You got half the group or, none of the group thinking for the group. And then you got everybody thinking for themselves individually. And that's just because that's the duality of us. You know what I mean? We're personal. Yeah, we're personal to ourselves. But whenever you're, collaborating with somebody or trying to make a group effort to do something with somebody, you got to think with a group mindset. When you're individual and you're not running with a group, when you're being, nomadic or Sigma, in the way that you move and the way that you do things. Well, not Sigma. When you're being nomadic, that's individual. That's personal. That's, you just you. Sigma know when you with the group, you got to think in a group mindset. That's if you're a Sigma of morals and values. If you're a Sigma of morals and values, yeah, you're going to think in that Sigma mindset for the whole group. You're going to think consciously, well, you got to make sure everybody, is benefited off of whatever venture that we're doing. Any capital have to be, equally divided, and it have to be, everybody's an even partner in this. That's how you collaborate. That's how you make a team effort. Teamwork make the dream work. Now, when you're doing nomadic things, when you're just on your own doing your own thing, you got to think individually. You can't think for a group or a team. Yeah, somebody could put you on a group or a team, but when you're a nomad, you're really just thinking for you. But I'm a nomad that'll actually think for the group, because I'm a nomadic type of guy. I'm very family oriented. If you're with me, I'm with you. If you can't trust me, you can't trust nobody. And I believe loyalty encompasses all. Right? Now, that being said, I run my operation the way I run it because a lot of times I will run my ideas past people. A lot of times I would talk to people for insight on different things, and a lot of times, I admit, it's just to, see what they say. I already know where I'm going to go with it or what I'm going to do, a lot of times. Whether it turns out good or not, I already know where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do. A lot of times it turned out good when it's just me. Whenever I put it in somebody else's hands or try to really count on somebody else, it always fucks up for me. It always go that way for me. Whenever I'm, I do things to my detriment at sometimes. Whenever I put too much faith or whenever I count on someone too much, it always falls through. That's why I'm the way I am. That's why I'm more of an introvert instead of an extrovert. I'm more of a, somebody said it was an omnivert or something like that. I heard this term, omnivert. They have an omnivert, introvert and extrovert. I could be both. I'm both. And what I've been doing was telling people ideas and things like this, because I was trying to build a team to not just better me, but a team of people who would benefit everybody, because it's not just for me. I'm doing this for everybody. I'm not, it's never being selfish. Everything I want to do, everything I'm building up behind the scenes and what people can see is for everybody. If you actually talk to people that I talk to, and then who I've run ideas across and things that I'm bringing to fruition, you know what I mean? I got plans on, helping homeless people, helping, people with schizophrenia and mental illnesses and things like that, because there's a lot of this going on nowadays, especially with, COVID and things going around. I don't know if you heard, but it resurged. I'm hearing, people telling me that they actually catching COVID again. People are catching COVID again. And it's a serious thing, and that's going to drive a lot more people to start being more introvert, where they may be extroverts at times, and some people don't know how to deal with that. Some people don't know how to handle that. Sometimes when you isolate, that's when you notice things about yourself that you might not really like, or you might not be too comfortable with, and that might disturb you spiritually, mentally, physically, because it all takes effect. Even the things that don't affect you in some type of way. That's why I like to dive deep into the spiritual side of things, But at times you could get too lost in a certain mode or a certain destination, right? Because when you dive into the spiritual, you're taking a trip. You're taking a journey, a spiritual journey to a spiritual destination. Because spiritually you could travel. Right here, like sitting here, you can travel and search, you know, your inner soul net, or whatever you want to call it, your intranet. You know, you can search your soul, you can search yourself, you can search your mind, your mental, you know. Listen, it's a deep thing when you go down these roads and you go down these rabbit holes. And some people use substances to do that. You know, I've tried different things. I don't try it now. I don't do it now because I'm focused on getting things achieved and things like that. I mean, not saying that you can't achieve many things while taking certain substances, but at the same time, you got to know when to say is enough, when enough is enough. Because if you don't, you can actually get to the point where you can't come back or have that mental capacity where you can function in everyday society anymore. You know, that's why I wanted to start this 24/7 rehabilitation center. You know, and it's not just for people going through mental disabilities or, you know, or drugs or need rehab or whatever it is. Some people are just dealing with demons. Some people need spiritual rehab. Some people need physical rehab. Some people need, you know, physical rehabilitation because they got hurt or something like that, and they don't have insurance. You know, we have big, giant, vacant buildings in Philadelphia that nobody's doing anything with. You know what I mean? The things that I want to do is grab these type of buildings and actually open them up for people 24/7, you know, where they could go get help or they could go get a hot meal. You know, they could have a warm bed to sleep in or somebody to talk to on hand 24/7, you know, and it's not just for them. It's for the people that will be staffing these buildings as well. You know what I mean? The people who need jobs out here in Philadelphia. You know, that's why I'm trying to do things. You know, the books are out there for kids that need to read. I mean, all of us need to read. Reading is fundamental. I love to read in my spare time when I could get my mind, or I want to get my mind off a certain thing, off a problem or a situation, or just get out my own head or out my own way about something. And I'll read a fable or a good, you know, book with some inspirational tales in it, you know, some good passages, some philosophy, if you will. And man, we need more of that because our kids don't read that often. You know, in schools, they make them read. Yeah, some of them like spelling bees and stuff like that. But I mean, really, we need books, literature, like real literature, not childish literature. Yeah, we have kid books out there, and it's over an abundance of children books out here. You know what I mean? But our kids need real literature, something that they could read, that can, you know, they could tap into a older way of thinking, if you will, a more mature way of thinking, if you will. You know, our kids need something to read like that so they could get in tap with a more mature reading level. Because some kids aren't challenged. You know, they still like reading. They'll be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 sometimes, still wanting to read kids' books. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, we got kids like that. And that's because nobody ever challenged them to read more advanced literature. You know, I try to put out books that's short enough for a child to be able to look at and say, hey, this book isn't too long. I could go through this book, you know what I mean, in no time. You know, they'll look at it, and then when they start reading it, they'll see the words in it are, you know, very mature words and more advanced words. And the word choices are words that a kid can easily, you know, pronounce the syllables and the vowels and, you know, put the word together properly. It helps with the language and the speech and the, you know, reading development and everything. That's why these are easy reading titles, because morals and values is for that child that need the morals and values instilled. An adult can read this book to their kids, or a child can read it for themselves. And it's available for free on Amazon Kindle Markets. You know, that's what it's there for, you know, because reading is fundamental, and we have to do that. I have kids. I'm pushing them to read more. So why not write some books and put them out there? Why not do that for my children so they can see not only does their dad want them to read, but their dad became an author, a publisher. I published them myself. I'm proud of that. I hope you're proud as well. Yeah, man. We got to expound on all these different aspects of us, because us expounding, you got to understand, we have these children. That is an expansion of us. That's a physical expansion of who we are. And if we stay stagnant in any type of way, if we stay complacent in any type of way, our child is picking that up. Our child is seeing that. You know what I mean? And one of my songs called Free that I just released is on all music platforms right now. I said I can stand in one place and bring the world to me. And that's simply because you're not confined by your circumstances, by the way you live, by, you know, whatever it is, because we all go through things in life. Nobody's exempt from that. I'm going through something in life. I know people who's going through things in life, and we all connect and we communicate in a spiritual way, in a higher way, in a metaphysical way. You know what I mean? I don't judge anybody. I understand when people judge. It's a human thing. It's a natural thing. Really is not. But people make your business their business. They like to do that. Because it's something different when you look in the mirror and you see somebody else. You can talk shit about that person, but when you look in the mirror and you see yourself, you'll shy away because you don't want to see, you know what I mean, the monster that's in you, the person that's behind, you know what I mean, you. You don't want the world to know about your nasty truth of who you are. So it's easy to point the finger at somebody. But, you know, we all live, learn, we grow, we go through things and we experience different things. And through that, we gain the knowledge and wisdom to know that it's just all about you, man. It's just all about you. Life is going to throw you some fucking curveballs. Life is going to, you know, put all types of pitfalls in your way and try to get in the way of you doing what you want to do. You know what I mean? But you got to realize that at the end of the day, it's all for you. It's all for them extensions of you. You know what I mean? Them expansions of who you are. That's who you originally did it for, and that's who you're doing it for, and that's who you got to continue to do it for, however you do it. You know? I'm just trying to get it a different way because, really, I had no choice. And really, I've been planning for something like this for a long time. So it's like, success is when preparation and opportunity meets, right? I'm prepared. Not prepared as well as I would want to be, but I'm prepared. The know-how, the time it takes, the opportunities, the connections you make, the connections I make with people that I don't even know that I'm making. Thank you. Yeah, and a lot of this is about mindset too. A lot of this thing that we in, where we can't reach a certain goal or achieve a certain thing, is about the mindset that we adapt. You think, therefore you are. It's like when you think, I don't care what level of life you're in, you don't gotta have no money in your pockets at all, right? You could be busted, right? But you never broke. Remember that. You never broke. Even if you don't got nothing at all, you never broke. right? Because you're not broken, right? You're not broken as a person, you're not broke. If you don't got finance, that's one thing. But finance don't make you a man. Finance don't make you a person, right? So you're never broke. I hate that shit, right? Because people always say, all this, you know what I mean? I'm broke. No, you're not fucking broke. You know what I mean? You gotta big up yourself. Because everything that I accomplished, it cost me a lot. But finance, it didn't cost much, but it still cost me a lot to amass the accomplishments that I had. You know, it don't matter you're living, how you live, your living arrangements and stuff like that. Because sometimes we live a certain way because we have to for the ones that are around us. Are we really free? Right? We live the certain way we have to because we want to appease the people around us. You know? And it's that's another thing too. Do not appease anybody. You know what I mean? We get caught up in appeasing people. You know, we get caught up in appeasing people, you know, doing things because another person might want us to, or, you know, something like that. Stop appeasing people. Do things because it's what you want to do. Don't do it because it's something that somebody else wants you to do. You know, it's hard to say that and it's hard to do that, but a lot of times we get caught up because we following what somebody else wants us to do. You know what I mean? We wearing the shirt that somebody else wants us to wear. We cut our hair because somebody else wanted us to cut our hair. Or we cut our hair because somebody else look good with their hair cut. You know what I mean? We wearing the certain shoes because somebody else wearing those certain shoes. You know what I mean? Somebody told me, you know what I mean, go around the corner and punch the boy in the face. So we went around the corner and punched the boy in the face. Yeah, you know, all types of shit. Doing something that somebody else told you to do. Appeasing somebody else. Seriously, man, stop appeasing somebody else. Appease you. Do your thing. Because a lot of times we be having these dreams and shit. We be having things that we want to do. But all because a person told you that it's not a good idea, or it wouldn't work, or do this or do that. You never do it. Or you never get it out there. You never get it done. I know it's millions of y'all, probably thousands of y'all, millions of y'all, you know what I mean, that had that happen to them. You know, they get caught up in life. And you just got to be mindful of where you're trying to get to. You got to be mindful of where your mind state is at. Because you have to be in the right mind state. You think, therefore you are. If you're thinking as a peasant, then you are a peasant. I don't think like a peasant. I think as an observer. I think as a creator. You know, if you want to call that boss thinking, then you could call that boss thinking. You know what I mean? If you want to call that being a trailblazer, being an entrepreneur, because that's what I'm doing. I don't see other people doing what I'm doing in my environment. I don't see them doing what I'm trying to do. I don't see other people, you know what I mean, around. I don't see people doing what I'm doing. I don't see people doing it the way I'm doing it, the way I'm trying to do it. Not trying to do it. See, that's a peasant way of mind thinking. When you say you're trying to do something, that's a peasant way of thinking. We don't think like that because I'm doing it. I made myself a publisher. I made myself an author. I made myself an artist. I write my own music and I record my own music. Right? I do my game streams and I do my podcast, right? So I'm not trying to do anything, is what I'm doing. It's about the body of work that I'm building. You know what I mean? It's a body of work. You can see I have a discography and we have all types of things. It's about getting monetized. It's about building something for the future. See, people look at what you have now and they judge you on where you are right now. But they don't see that vision. They don't see where you're going to be. They don't see where you're going to get to. That's why a lot of times it's best to keep our ideas to ourselves. And remember that never be no fucking hater. Period. Never be no fucking hater. I want people to remember that. Never be no fucking hater. Because I be seeing some fly shit out there, man. I be seeing people do fly shit and I love it. right? I love when I see fly shit, right? Because I inspire to do some fly shit too. I want to make sure my kids able to do fly shit. That's why I'm taking a hit. So you got to take the hit before you take the come up. Some people not willing to take the hit. You got to take the hit. You take the hit before you take the come up a lot of times. Real niggas out there know what I'm talking about. And that's not a racial thing, neither. Because I'm not a racial person. You know what I mean? Everybody is saying you could be any color, and you know what I mean? Actually, it's kind of a term of endearment. So don't think it's a racial thing. Anybody could tune in and listen to this. Welcome. I'm a quarter everything. That's why I keep it $1.25. Real rap. But yeah, man, it's like you have to stay focused on that thing, man. You have to stay focused on that thing. You can't be distracted from that thing because it's meant for you. It's not meant for nobody else. That's why you have to stay in that right state of mind. If you think like a peasant, you're going to be in a peasant state of mind. You are a peasant. You know what I mean? It's not about what you wear. It's about how you feel as a man. It's about how you feel as a person. You know what I mean? I come outside wearing a fucking kilt if I want to, because I'm part Irish too. So I come outside wearing a fucking kilt. I don't care what I wear. It's about what I'm doing. It's about the body of work that I'm building. The achievements, the success. These are the things that we're chasing, right? These are the things that we seek after, that's sought after. You know, these are things that's going to keep your names in record books and histories. These are things that you got to chase, but we get so caught up in building other people's legacies. We get so caught up in honoring somebody else's lineage that we don't honor our own. You have a lineage, you have a last name. You know what I mean? Whatever that is, you have to honor that. You have to pass that forward. You have to do things to make sure that that name will be remembered in a great light and not a bad one. Right? That's what it's about, man. It's about creating that lane and doing the things that you got to do to maintain and to really just secure the bag. No, to be honest with you, man, seriously, because I'm not going fraud. I'm not going front. It's about the bag too. You're going to get the bag by doing, listen, people are deterred because when you first start doing a thing, it's not going to really yield any benefit right then and there. And then sometimes you're doing something that's already been getting you money, so you're going to keep doing that naturally. And then you wind up getting caught up in that and stop doing what's not yielding any money. You're like, fuck that, I'm going to just keep doing this because this is paying off. Not knowing that what you was doing that wasn't yielding money yet wasn't yielding money because it was going to yield greater benefit later. See, sometimes things that don't benefit monetary value right away, that only means that it's going to yield greater monetary value later if you keep at it. That's where people get lost at. That's where they get off the yellow brick road, man. If you want something to be successful, you got to do it. You got to constantly do it. I'm not good at this podcast. I just sit here, zone out, and talk some real shit to you. I'm gonna be honest, that's what I do. I sit here, zone out, and talk some real shit to you until I'm ready for this commercial break to come up. Hey, real quick, guys. This is Mr. Pagan here. Just want to let y'all know that I have books available on Amazon, Kindle, bookstores, on your phones. I got 2 great titles available and a 3rd one coming soon. My philosophy is, if you got a smartphone or a smart device, you already got my book in your hands. It's free for download if you got Kindle Unlimited, and it's $5 otherwise. For One Leap of Faith, it's $5, and for my book Morals and Values, it's $5.25. Both of them are packed with insightful information on morals and values. And One Leap of Faith is to push you to get on your grind for your goals. You know what I mean? Two powerful books. I got a thriller coming up called Moonlit Marshes with a character. The protagonist is Marshall Cuts, and he's trying to get his way. He's trying to find his way out of Louisiana without getting himself hurt or killed or something. It's a great suspenseful book. Please check it out. It's going to be on Amazon Kindle store. Remember, both these books are available for free. One Leap of Faith and Morals and Value. You got Kindle Unlimited. They're available for free. And also, don't forget to check out my game stream on YouTube, Gaming, Vaping, Guns. And on Twitch, I'm GVG215. All right? And also, my music streams on all streaming platforms. Whether you got Apple, it's there. Whether you got Tidal, guess what? It's there. You listen on Spotify? Yeah, I'm on Spotify. This podcast is actually on Spotify, also the music. So yeah, we well-rounded. Everything that I'm doing is complementing each other. So please, support the movement, support my brand, support the positive energy that I'm putting out there. And you guys, be blessed. May peace be with you.